You have to help me. All of you have to help me. Please. It's horrible. It's coming. And I don't know how to stop it. It's the biggest menace to almost all of Doctor Who. But not all of it. There's still one more. Please. I need all the help I can get. We're talking about Series 2. Doesn't make me want to die. Let's get into it. My oh my, where do I even begin with Doctor Who Series 2? Which is sad. Series 2 isn't good. Like how I said in the last video, how Series 1 is one of the best seasons that the show has done ever. Series 2 is the complete opposite. It's one of the worst series that the show has ever done. Now, I don't know if it's I don't really know who to blame exactly on this. I don't know if it's Russell T Davies' fault. I don't know if it's Julie Gardner's fault. I don't know if it's any of the actors' fault. I don't know. Billy Piper could be doing a little bit of a better job with this season. One thing's for sure, Tennant knocks it out of the park. I actually feel really bad for him because he gets boggled down by his first season, which is just so many bad stories. And I just can't stand to watch him. I feel really bad for Tennant. He's one of my favorite doctors. I actually met him at Wizard World Comic Con in Cleveland a couple weeks ago, and it was really good. Okay, so Series 2 has technically an extra episode added onto it compared to Series 1 because the Christmas special precedes Series 2 this time around. So Tennant actually starts off really strong. The first episode, The Christmas Invasion, was aired on December 25th, 2005. And it was great. Even though Tennant was barely in it, it had a good story, re-established the Earth characters as needing to be there, showed the 10th Doctor's origins, and showed why and how we're going to fall in love with this Doctor. And many people did. The Sycorax was a very interesting alien creature. And yeah, and Harriet Jones returned. I don't remember what her actress's name was. She returns, and then she gets hated by the Doctor, and then she's never seen again until Series 4. But enough about her. And then it ends with the amazing Song for 10. And the scene where he picks out his outfit, which I feel bad for 10 as well. His outfit's one of my least favorites, because it's just a normal suit. It's granted, Matt Smith's first outfit is just a suit as well, but his second outfit is interesting and unique. And Capaldi's is cool. But we're talking about Tennant right now. And it ends with the future being bright for Rose and 10 as they continue to go on adventures together, even though he's regenerated and she's moved on from 9 and goes on to 10. And then the actual series starts and the bad episodes start to begin. We started off with New Earth. And boy, is New Earth dumb and pointless and doesn't need to be in it doesn't need to be here. It's such a bad episode to follow up on 10's introduction and Christmas special. But it's, in my opinion, it's the worst series opener. It's the worst opening episode. The only one that could have maybe been worse was Smith and Jones. But Smith and Jones is somewhat better. In New Earth, we go to New Earth. After the end of the world, where the Earth destroyed, they go and colonize the New Earth. And some of the characters from the end of the world come back, including the Skin Lady, played by Zoe Wanamaker. And there's cat people, and they're cat ninjas. And the desanitation, I really don't know. I really don't care. It's just a bad episode to start off the season with. But if you want to watch it, go ahead. I watched it because I only had to rewatch all Series 2. But yeah. And then Series 2 just doesn't Now in series 1, it went from good episode to bad episode, back to good episode. In series 2, it's just a lot of bad episodes leading up to some good episodes. And the next episode is Tooth and Claw, which is another dumb one. It is the only episode with the 10th Doctor where he speaks his native Scottish language. Scottish language. Fuck! I sound like a racist. Scottish language. He speaks in his native Scottish accent, and he takes the name of Jamie McCrimmon, who is actually a famous second Doctor companion. He's the longest running companion on the show. And it's just, this Queen of Scotland is getting hunted by werewolves. Doctor Who, werewolves, definitely mixed together. Tooth and Claw is awful. It's not as bad as New Earth, but it's still pretty bad. And then thank God, we finally get in some good episodes. Episode 3 is written by Toby Whithouse in his first contribution to the series. He wrote some really good episodes in the later Moffat era episodes, but he writes School Reunion, which is the Doctor and Rose re-meeting up with Mickey to go investigate a school where there's aliens or something that are preying on kids. And Sarah Jane Smith, played by Elizabeth Sladen, returns, and she was one of the best companions. She was played by she was a companion to the 3rd and the 4th Doctor, and she's great. I'm glad they brought her back. She's interesting, and she really plays well with the 10th Doctor. Their 10 is her second best relationship with the Doctor. She still has a better relationship with 4, but still pretty good. And Rose and Sarah bickering and the return of K9, all highlights. And the evil, creepy headmaster who turns out to be an alien, also great. And then we go on to another episode. Written by Moffat. Granted, Moffat, can't blame anything on Moffat. Moffat's early episodes for the 9th and 10th Doctors are some of his best work. And it continues here. The Girl in the Fireplace is really interesting. It's got Madame de Pompadour, who plays a wonderful romantic interest to the Doctor. And Rose is jealous. Mickey goes along with them for his first outer space adventure. And the clockwork androids, and they're horrifying and intimidating as well. As well as the fact that it's just a beautiful setting. Revolutionary France is where I'm pretty sure it takes place, but it takes place in France, I know for sure. But it actually takes place on a spaceship that's disguised as France. Wow. Moffat, great job. Keep up the good episodes, which I know you're going to do, seeing what you contributed to Series 3 and Series 4. Now, the Cyberman 2-parter, Rise of the Cybermen and the Age of Steel. I would say they're my only meh episodes on this list. I like the Cybermen. I don't really like the whole parallel universe aspect of it, but I mean, it's the Cybermen. They were gonna eventually come back. I wish it was just the normal Mondasian Cybermen, and they sort of returned in Series 5 and like Series 7. They don't make their full return until Series 10, and yeah, it's okay. John Loomis, not a good antagonist. He's boring. He's just an evil, typical I want to rule over the world guy. The alternate Earth is pretty interesting, where Rose Tyler's dad's alive again, and he's different in this world, but he's also not different, and it's good. I like it, it's a meh. It's just a meh. Meh, I like it. Meh, I don't like it. It depends on the mood I'm in when I'm watching it. Now, in all honesty, I don't actually remember what the 7th episode is. I'm actually going to figure that out real quick right now. But I'm pretty sure it's bad. Oh, no. I knew why I don't remember this one. It's the Idiot's Lantern. Mark Gatiss, this is... I'm sorry for anyone who hates Sleep No More, but Sleep No More is better than Idiot's Lantern. Idiot's Lantern is just so dumb. It's about the one where the lady in the TV eats the souls and takes the people's faces, and the Doctor has to wear that silly-ass fucking 80s haircut, or 50s haircut. I don't even know. I don't know. It's just dumb. I wouldn't recommend watching it. The villain is horrible, the cast is horrible, and everybody just acts like a fucking dumbass. Next. the next two-parter, the Satan two-parter, is good. I will admit that. It's good. It's not bad. Actually, I would say something. Part 2 is better than Part 1. Part 1 no, I don't like Part 1. Part 2, I like. It's decent. It's better. And, yeah. So, the Doctor's on a planet with a whole team of, I don't know. They're orbiting a black hole. It's like a space team. It's actually the work of, like, a demon beast that looks like Satan and aliens. And they're all rushing towards a black hole, which black holes come back very prominently in the next couple seasons. But, yep. Don't. I watch it. I'd watch it for the second part, where the Rose's reaction to the Doctor actually sacrificing himself is really good and interesting. But I don't know if it's enough to sit through that first part. That first part's really kind of, ugh. And then Episode 10, Love and Monsters. I'm not gonna get that mad at this one. It's dumb. It's made so it can be based around a monster, but it has good intentions behind it. Davies wrote the episode because he wanted to make this little boy's dream come true, and this little boy made a monster, and he wanted the monster to actually appear, and that's the Abzorbaloff monster that takes the people's faces and adjusts it into them. And we follow Elton Pope. Elton is so boring. He's like the creep. He's the creep character that nobody wants to be around. Reminds me of someone. But there's nothing else really interesting about this episode, other than that he takes his girlfriend's stone head, literally takes it out of the ground, it's put into the stone, and takes it with him, and then he's just got a talking stone head. It's weird. But you thought bad episodes were going to get even worse? Trust me, Fear Her is also really bad, and it's directed by Euros Lyn, which makes no sense. Euros Lyn directed some of the best episodes, including The End of Time. And I don't remember if he directed Stolen Earth and Journey's End, but he probably did. But Fear Her is... They arrive at the London 2000... Doctor and Rose arrive at the London 2012 Olympics. At least, yeah, the 2012 Olympics. I thought it was the 2008 Olympics, because I don't know if they've confirmed that it was happening in London in 2012 yet. But I don't know. And there's like children's drawings coming to life. There's this little girl that her drawings come to life every time she draws them down, and the Doctor has to like stop it. And it's just weird. I don't get why it's a thing. And then the Rose wears her weird poodle skirt, I think, in this episode. Or maybe not. No, that was Idiot's Lantern, which I'd also like to forget. But I can't, because I just remembered it, and it's probably never going to come out of my brain ever again. But it's completely fine. We don't need to worry about the bad episodes anymore. We got them all out. We got out New Earth, Tooth and Claw, Fear Her, The Love and Monsters, Idiot's Lantern, and then part 1 of the 2-part Satan story. But we finish it off again with a really good season finale, Army of Ghosts and Doomsday. And it features one of the saddest farewells to the companion, other than a future one, which I'm not going to mention yet. Matt Smith. That's the only keyword. But the Cybermen return as ghosts flying throughout, and people think that the ghosts are their dead loved ones. The Doctor gets taken to Torchwood Institute, which has been teased throughout the entire season as this season's story. Like how Series 1 was Bad Wolf, this series was Torchwood and the ghosts. They're taken to Torchwood. They meet the commander. They figure out that the ghosts are Cybermen. The Doctor decides, like, hey, I don't need to not fight against these people because they're my friends, I guess. So we're just gonna leave them alone. And the ending, where Mickey comes back in a parallel Earth, and then the big reveal that even though they were destroyed in the last series finale, that the Daleks are in this Time Lord sphere. And it's the Cult of Skaro, the special Daleks. Daleks. Don't get me started. The Cult of Skaro are okay in Army of Ghosts and Doomsday, but when you see what they do in Series 3 and what Dalek Khan does in Series 4, it's bad. Now, Doomsday is... Now, just because I said that, just because I don't like the Daleks part and some of the Torchwood characters, doesn't mean it's not a fantastic episode. It's fantastic. It's great. It's a great build-up. And in Doomsday, it kind of ruins a little bit. It's still good. Don't get me wrong. It's one. There's a reason why it's considered one of the best episodes of the show. But the Daleks and the Cybermen fight each other. The Doctor gets caught in the middle of the conflict. Rose, and the Doctor activates a portal. The alternate dimension sends the Daleks and the Cybermen. I don't think he sends the Daleks. The Daleks get teleported away for Series 3, that one episode, and the Cybermen get sucked back in, and then eventually they're going to come back, but they're not back for anytime soon. And then Rose and her family get sucked in as well. And the goodbye between Rose and the Doctor is heartbreaking, but I don't feel anything for it. If it was Nine and Rose saying goodbye to each other, I would have felt something. But I'm going to be honest, I hate Ten and Rose. They're not good. I don't like the love thing they have with each other. I don't like how the Doctor falls in love with his companions. It's weird. And I hope that doesn't happen again with Whittaker's Doctor or any other future Doctor, what happened with Rose. But it's still sad. The Doctor's final farewell, burning up the solar flare. Burning up the solar flare to speak one last message to Rose is heartbreaking. The Doctor's tears would make anyone go into tears, although I didn't, because I was just like, are we really that sad? She's doing and the series ends with the big cliffhanger of Donna Noble. We don't know she's Donna Noble yet. Appearing in the TARDIS in the wedding dress, and they're both, the Doctor and Donna are both super confused, and they're just repeating what to each other. And series end. And that's Series 2 in a nutshell. It's one of the worst seasons they've done, but there's still some redeemable qualities. It's not the worst season. The worst season probably still has to be that one involving River Song and all the dumb stuff that was put into 2 parts and some of the Let's Kill Shitload and all that. But Tennant gets a little redeeming point. Even though his first season and his relationship with Rose are bad, it goes really high up for Series 3 with Martha Jones and everyone else and the Mr. Saxon plotline. But we don't need to worry about that. We will definitely get back into that next time. And this has been my nightmare over, at least until we get to Series 6. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.